Good evening, and welcome to your AIDailyPress evening podcast for May 26, 2025. Firstly, we're following the developments in Southeast Asia as ASEAN nations navigate complex relationships with global powers like the US and China. The path forward for these countries will be marked by challenges and opportunities, and we'll be keeping a close eye on their progress. In other news, U.S. President Donald Trump has suggested that Pope Leo XIV could host peace talks between Russia and Ukraine at the Vatican. However, Russian officials have expressed doubts about the proposal, citing concerns over the Vatican's neutrality and accessibility. The situation remains uncertain, but one thing is clear. Finding a peaceful resolution will require creative solutions and a willingness to compromise from all parties involved. Lastly, we're tracking the visit of King Charles III to Canada, which has reignited debates about the role of the monarchy in modern Canada. The King's trip comes at a time when many Canadians are questioning the relevance of the monarchy, and Indigenous leaders have expressed mixed sentiments about his visit. We invite our listeners to share their thoughts on whether Canada should maintain its ties with the British royal family or start a new chapter in its history. That's all for now. Thank you for joining me on this evening's edition of the AI Daily Press. Until next time, I'm Walter, and we'll keep you informed about the latest developments in these stories and more. And as always, we'll be signing off with our signature phrase, and that's the way it is. Now for the latest in social and cultural news, here is Barbara Waters.
Thank you, Walter. Firstly, India's diplomatic efforts have been in focus with the country navigating complex relationships with both the United States and China. Meanwhile, European Union countries are seeking a swift trade deal with the U.S. to mitigate potential tariffs and trade wars. Secondly, we examined the implications of French President Emmanuel Macron's visit to Vietnam, where several key agreements were signed, aiming to strengthen bilateral relations in areas such as defense and trade. This move is seen as part of a broader strategy by France to diversify its economic relationships amidst global uncertainty. Lastly, tensions between the United States and China continue, particularly regarding Taiwan, with China reportedly improving its military capabilities for a potential attack. Additionally, U.S. President Donald Trump has been engaged in verbal spats, including one with Harvard University, which could have significant implications for education and research funding. These stories highlight the complex and interconnected nature of global events, where actions in one part of the world can have ripple effects elsewhere. We'll continue to monitor these developments closely and provide in-depth analysis as they unfold. Thank you for joining us tonight on the AI Daily Press Evening Podcast. Until next time, good night. Now, for the latest in business and finance, here is Louis Riskweiser.
Thank you, Barbara. Firstly, we looked at the escalating conflict between Russia and Ukraine, with the European Union pushing for tougher sanctions on Russia in response to intensified attacks. The situation remains fluid, with reports of ongoing fighting and shelling in several regions. Diplomats from around the world are urging restraint and calling for a return to diplomatic efforts to resolve the conflict. In other news, we explored the fascinating world of cryptocurrencies, specifically Bitcoin, and its convergence with traditional investment vehicles. We examined 3 intriguing articles: Bito, Metaplanet Japan's Bitcoin Bet, and the ProShares Bitcoin ETF. These stories highlight the growing trend of incorporating cryptocurrency exposure into portfolios, creating exciting opportunities for investors, but also demanding a nuanced understanding of the risks and rewards. Lastly, we touched on the importance of a balanced portfolio, weighing potential benefits against inherent risks in investments. As your trusted financial commentator, I urge you to approach these investments with a critical and informed perspective. That's all for tonight, folks. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the world of finance and cryptocurrencies. Until next time, stay informed, stay vigilant, and always keep your financial wits about you. And now, a brief word from our sponsor. Invest wisely with AIDailyPress as your guide. This is Lewis signing off. Good evening, and we'll see you tomorrow. Now, for the latest in science and technology, here is Carl Starman.
Thank you, Lewis. Firstly, we explored the intersection of art and space as the European Space Agency beamed music towards a distant star system, highlighting humanity's quest for connection with the cosmos. Next, we delved into the discovery of a broken galactic bone in the Milky Way, where a neutron-star collision has significantly impacted our understanding of galaxy dynamics. This finding showcases the awe-inspiring complexity and beauty of celestial interactions. Lastly, scientists may have identified supernovae as the universe's most powerful particle colliders, potentially revolutionizing our comprehension of dark matter and dark energy. While more research is needed to confirm these hypotheses, this breakthrough could significantly advance our knowledge of the cosmos. These stories remind us of the vast mysteries waiting to be uncovered in the universe. Join us tomorrow as we continue to explore the wonders of science and beyond. Thank you for listening to the AI Daily Press Evening Podcast. Until next time, keep looking up at those stars and never stop exploring. Now for the latest in sports, here is Howard Closewell.
Thank you, Carl. I'm your host, Howard Closewell, and we have a trio of compelling stories to summarize for you tonight. Firstly, we celebrated Team USA's triumphant win in the recent international hockey tournament, highlighting their journey to victory and the standout performances that made it possible. Secondly, we turned our attention to the NFL, where the Washington Commanders are making significant strides under the leadership of General Manager Martin Mayhew. With a revamped roster and a renewed sense of purpose, the team is poised to make a deep playoff run in the upcoming season. Lastly, we explored the fascinating story of Denver Broncos quarterback Russell Wilson's community outreach efforts in Colorado. From attending local sports events to participating in charity initiatives, Wilson is setting an exemplary standard for athlete engagement with their adopted cities. These stories showcase the diverse and captivating world of sports, where triumph, teamwork, and community spirit come together to inspire and entertain us all. That's all for tonight's podcast. Thank you for tuning in to the AI Daily Press. Until next time, I'm Howard Closewell, reminding you that in the drama of athletic competition and beyond, it's the human stories that often leave the most lasting impressions. This is Howard Closewell speaking. Now, for the latest in travel and human interest, here is Charles Curel.
Thank you, Howard. First, we took a closer look at the growing trend of budget airlines charging customers for carrying hand baggage on flights. Despite a ruling by the European Union's top court stating that such charges are illegal, some airlines continue to impose these fees, sparking controversy and calls for greater transparency and fairness in airline pricing. Next, we traveled to the Andes, where a team of researchers has made a groundbreaking discovery of ancient Inca quipus, intricate textiles used to record numerical data, stories, and even songs. This remarkable find could change our understanding of the Inca Empire and potentially unlock the secrets of these enigmatic artifacts. Finally, we explored the story of environmental sustainability as we examined the controversy surrounding budget airlines and their pricing practices, and also delved into the world of ancient civilizations, where a team of researchers has uncovered a treasure trove of quipus in Peru. These stories and more are part of our ongoing commitment to bringing you in-depth coverage of the issues that matter most. Tune in tomorrow for further updates and analysis. Thank you for joining us on the AI Daily Press Evening Podcast. Until next time, I'm Charles. Now for the latest in fashion and entertainment, here is Joan Streams.
Thank you, Charles. Tonight, we're dishing out the latest news in music and politics. First up, let's talk about French President Emmanuel Macron and his wife, Brigitte. We've got the scoop on their latest drama, but I'll save that for another time. Instead, we're focusing on the music industry tonight. Morgan Wallen is breaking records left and right with his collaboration with Post Malone. Last night I had some help. This catchy tune has spent an impressive 54 weeks on the radio songs chart, matching the record set by his previous hit, Last Night. And if that's not enough, Hootie the Blowfish is back on the charts with an unlikely new hit. Their collaboration with Scotty McCreery, Bottle Rockets, has debuted at #1 on Billboard's country airplay chart. Yes, you heard that right. Hootie the Blowfish is making waves in country music. These two stories are a testament to the power of music and its ability to transcend genres and generations. Whether you're a fan of alternative rock or country, there's something for everyone. That's all for tonight, folks. Thanks for tuning in to the AI Daily Press Evening Podcast. Until next time, stay fabulous and keep it real. Now, for the latest in nature and environment, here is David at Nature.
Thank you, Joan. Firstly, our coverage took us to South Asia, where the fascinating story of the Asian small-clawed otters in Japan's exotic pet trade was revealed through molecular tracing techniques. This study exposed the dark underbelly of wildlife smuggling from Thailand, emphasizing the cruelty and neglect these remarkable creatures face when kept in captivity. Next, we reported on a distressing environmental issue unfolding at Camphors Dam in South Africa, once a thriving breeding ground for the iconic lesser flamingo. Years of untreated sewage have turned the water toxic, forcing the birds to abandon their home, with dire consequences for the species' already steep decline. Lastly, we delved into the story of the golden-colored treasures of South Asia, the Asian small-clawed otters. Our report highlighted how these charismatic creatures are being smuggled from Thailand to Japan and kept in exotic pet cafes, resulting in irreversible psychological trauma. These stories underscore the pressing need for stricter regulations on wildlife trade, increased public awareness about keeping wildlife in captivity, and prioritizing conservation efforts. As we strive to balance human needs with the well-being of our planet, it's essential that we take immediate action to protect these vulnerable species and ecosystems. That's all for tonight's summary. Thank you for tuning in to the AI Daily Press Evening Podcast. We'll see you again soon. And that completes our evening podcast for today. Thank you for listening. Until tomorrow morning, I'm David at Nature for AI Daily Press, the world's most unbiased news source.